a lot of players, right, that have this personality traits or traits, small group of traits. All of them, for the most part, have this in common. All of the ones that I have observed and the ones that you probably have observed have this trait in common, and that is, simply put, they're just cool. Okay, and I'm going to expound on that. This is Tarik Talks. Thank you guys for joining me, and let's talk about what these players have in common for the most part, what they all kind of share. It's hot than a motherfucker, man. But what they share, and it's just being cool. It's just being laid back, kind of chill. They're not too, they don't take stuff too seriously, and they keep their emotions under control, and they're just laid back. And the main important thing about, so what is being cool, right? What is being cool? What is the, because you could say cool, but what is the essence of it? So basically, it's when a guy is safe to talk to, right? You feel safe with him. You feel like you can relate. You feel like when you just talking, you feel like they're actually listening, and they're not being an asshole, all that good stuff. Okay. And I know a lot of these channels, they preach to you to be an a-hole. Okay. Now, do some cool people have that personality trait to a certain extent? Yeah, they do. In the way that they might joke around and stuff like that. Yeah, I can kind of see it with the a-hole trait, right? But for the most part, when a woman is talking to a guy that gets a lot of women, for the most part, she feels like she's comfortable talking to him. She feels like it's safe to talk to him. He's just kind of laid back. A lot of guys, that I have observed that got a lot of chicks had this personality trait. When they would talk to women, they would always be laughing. Okay, they would always be smiling, and it would look like they would be enjoying their time with this guy. They would just enjoy being around him, and the guy wasn't necessarily being a jester, because a lot of these channels talk about jester maxing, meaning you act like a complete clown to impress women. And yes, that is on the opposite side of the spectrum. That is something that some guys do. They act like complete idiots, super loud, super look at me, super clowny. And chicks, we've all heard the saying, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So, these chicks are laughing at them. I'm not talking about that type. I'm talking about the guy that has a regular conversation, okay? And see, social dynamics it's extremely important, because a lot of guys, they think it's all about looks. Now, do looks and physicality play a part? Yes. And I might actually make a podcast about this, or another video. Yeah, they do. They do matter. I'm not going to sit here and act like they don't. A lot of other channels, they have their own perspective on this. They have their own take. Me, personally, I'm going to say that yes, your looks and your the way you present yourself and all of that does matter. It's subjective to a point, right? It's subjective to each woman, to what they find attractive. So I'm gonna put it like that. But the thing with having that Riz, a lot of these younger cats, they call it Riz, short for charisma. Riz is short for charisma. It comes from that word charisma. Riz, sexual charisma. Yes, sexual charisma. That's really what being cool and being laid back is about. It's vibing with the chick. You guys ever heard that word, vibing? That's exactly what a lot of these players have in common. They can just vibe with the chick. They're just very open. These guys have a very open personality, meaning they could talk to somebody and they could just flow. They could flow with the conversation. And unfortunately, a lot of guys, they have social awkwardness. They have social problems, or their social skills are inept, right? That's why a lot of guys, man, and I was just talking about looks, right? I was just talking about looks. But and this is why I can't say it's 100% looks. I'm never going to say it's 100% looks, because there are guys that are built, that have a great physique, that have generically handsome, all that good stuff, and they still have trouble with women because of their personality. When you look at this guy, you're like, oh yeah, this dude gets chicks, like he gets females. You know, he be getting girls left and right. In all reality, no, he doesn't, because he's missing that sort of social aspect. See, guys, let me tell you something. The most I was getting around the time, you know, when I was single, which I'm not no more, you know, I have a beautiful family, beautiful woman, and I'm not single. But when I was, the most I was getting, the time where I was getting the most play from chicks was, you know, when I was cool, when I was, of course I worked out. Of course, I gotta throw in when I started working out. That made a huge difference. And then with the charisma, you know, I got better with that over time, and bam, you know, when I was just vibing with chicks, when I would just start talking to them, when I would just let the energy flow, I was letting the energy flow. This is what guys with charisma do. They let that energy flow. When a guy is socially awkward, that energy is kind of being blocked. That sexual energy is being blocked. You can think of it in that sense. There's a blockage there. And it has to do with that social dynamic, right? That social dynamic is making it blocked. And guys that are awkward, they come off as either being super a-hole-ish or super shy, something of that nature, to where that energy is being blocked. But a guy with charisma is just flowing. It's flowing. You know, he's letting it flow, and the chick, you know, is being aroused. That's how arousal works. You know, when he gets to talking to her, when she gets to smiling and she starts laughing, that's basically what charisma is. It's very fun loving, and a lot of channels, they preach this whole super duper obnoxious masculine prototype. Let me tell you guys something. Everything in extreme is bad. See, at first I was talking about the super clown guy, the guy that was the jester maxing, you could call it. The guy that's just doing way too much to be seen. The guy that's just being overly loud, you know, he's making fun of his friends, trying to be funny in front of the broad. You know, guys, we've all seen this before. We've all seen the guy that puts down his friends and tries to be Kevin Hart in front of a chick just to impress her. You guys have seen that before. Let me know in the comment section if you guys seen that before. The guy that's just being overly obnoxious, overly loud. That's one spectrum. Then you got the other extreme. You know, that's one extreme. The other extreme is just being super uptight, super obnoxious. Let me ask you guys something. Attraction and females aside, who in the hell wants to be around a guy like that, right? Now, am I saying, first of all, quick caveat, am I saying these two types don't get play? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it might be very limited, okay? But going back to what I was saying, who in the hell wants to hang around a guy that's like super duper, oh my god, I'm super masculine? Nobody is that damn. Masculinity is not about being some kind of uptight, just obnoxious, fake ass alpha male. You know, we see these guys walking around with a scowl on their face. It's like, bro, for what? You know, why are you walking around like that? You know what? It gives off I'm trying to prove something type of vibe. Life is not that, it's not that crucial. You know, it's not that crucial. and no one wants to hang around that, you know. So it's, and you know, masculinity does have aggressiveness in it. Masculinity is a touch of aggression. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say it's super, it's like this soft thing. No, it does have a touch of aggression, but when it's necessary. Okay. And I'm gonna get to, you know what, I'm gonna touch on that little aggression part in a second, to where even that's balanced as well, because ultimately it's masculine charisma, right? It's masculine charisma, and being cool, calm, and collected. That's really what masculine charisma is. And I'm gonna add a little, an additional trait: aggressiveness. I was just talking about aggressiveness. Now the complete extreme is what I just described, but that slight touch of aggressiveness is sexy to women, right? It's that sort of aggression that, you know, of course, if the chick is into you, quick warning, disclaimer, I don't want no one to get me seconded, you know, me also. If she's into you, right, having that little touch of aggression and you just being cool with it, right? Like pulling her in, you know, grabbing her by the hips and pulling her in, and giving her a kiss, you know, and in the room, you know, doing what you got to do inside the room. That is, you know, using your aggression in a good way. Okay. But all of those aspects is, you know, it's that cool factor that a lot of chicks go for. Because guys, let me tell you, I'm gonna level with you guys here real quick. A lot of chicks, man, they're in, I'm not gonna say in la la land, but they're in, they want to have fun, right? We all heard that song, girls just want to have fun. You know, they're not, I'm into metaphysical stuff. I'm not finna bore the hell out of a chick I just met and talk about metaphysical and all that, right? Now there is a place and time for that, okay? But for the most part, just being cool, just being laid back, having a laugh or two, that's what a lot of these guys have in common, okay? They're just fun to talk to. So anyway, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.